What are minimal APIs? In this lecture, we'll look at the official definition of minimal APIs and what are some of the characteristics of these APIs in .NET Core. Minimal APIs are used to create HTTP web APIs with minimal dependencies. The main keywords to look after here is the minimal dependencies. You use these minimal APIs to create those APIs so that you can achieve it with minimal set of dependencies when you are working with .NET Core. This is a new framework that has been introduced in .NET Core 6 by Microsoft so that you can get started with creating the APIs with minimal set of dependencies. When it comes to the different types of web API approaches in .NET, there are broadly two different types. The first type is known as MVC APIs that has been the default mechanism whenever you want to implement web APIs in .NET. These are also called as controller APIs. The reason being these types of projects uses the typical model view controller architecture wherein all the API is going to be implemented in the controller classes. However, the newly introduced approach is known as minimal APIs wherein it's going to use a single file to implement all the features required within an API. These are the two different approaches available in .NET as of .NET 6. In this course, we are going to concentrate on developing the minimal APIs in .NET Core. Next, let's look at some of the main characteristics of these minimal APIs in .NET. First, it is very important for you to understand that the minimal APIs are not going to replace the MVC APIs. They are not designed to replace the MVC APIs or the controller APIs that has been in the market for a long years. Both MVC APIs as well as the minimal APIs are going to coexist along with each other. Next, when it comes to developing minimal APIs, predominantly the entire implementation is done within a single C# file. This is one of the reasons for naming it as minimal APIs. You are going to create a single C# file and it's going to contain all the implementation that is required to expose a set of API endpoints. We are going to see this extensively within this course. Next, although it is pretty new to the API framework within .NET, it is still in the early stage. Hence, when you are working with minimal APIs, just have an open mind when it comes to implementing and designing these minimal APIs. Having understood about minimal APIs and their main characteristics, next let's look at some of the main purpose or the need for minimal APIs in the next lecture.